Hello, Internet, and all the people that are watching this from the Internet. I'm not feeling the greatest today. Over the weekend I've got a bit of a sore throat, but I'll be okay. I want to take this chance to read this article written by Mike Adams from Natural News. So I'm just going to go. Let's not beat around the bush on this issue. The swine flu vaccines now being prepared for mass injection into infants, children, teens, and adults have never been tested and won't be tested before the injections begin. In Europe, where swine flu vaccines are typically tested on hundreds or thousands of people before being unleashed on the masses, the European Medicines Agency is allowing companies to skip the testing process entirely. And yet, amazingly, people are lining up to take the vaccine, absent any safety testing whatsoever. When the National Institutes of Health in the U.S. announced a swine flu vaccine trial beginning in early August, it was inundated with phone calls and emails from people desperate to play the role of human guinea pigs. The power of fear to herd sheeple into vaccine injections is simply amazing. Back in Europe, of course, everyone gets to be a guinea pig since no testing will be done on the vaccine at all. Even worse, the European vaccines will be using adjuvants, chemicals used to multiply the potency of active ingredients in vaccines. Notably, there is absolutely no safety data on the use of adjuvants in infants and expectant mothers, the two groups being most aggressively targeted by the swine flu vaccine pushers. This leads us to the disturbing conclusion that the swine flu vaccine could be a modern medical disaster. It's untested and untried. Its ingredients are potentially quite dangerous, and the adjuvants being used in the European vaccines are suspected of causing neurological disorders. Paralyzed by vaccines. I probably don't need to remind you that in 1976, a failed swine flu vaccine caused irreparable damage to the nervous systems of hundreds of people, paralyzing many. Medical doctors gave the problem a name, of course, to make it sound like they knew what they were talking about: Guillain-Barré syndrome. Notably, they never called it toxic vaccine syndrome because that would have been too informative. But the fact remains that doctors never knew how the vaccines caused these severe problems. And if the same event played out today, all the doctors and vaccine pushers would undoubtedly deny any link between the vaccines and paralysis altogether. That's what's happening today with the debate over vaccines and autism. Complete denial. In fact, there are a whole list of things that you'll never be told by health authorities about the upcoming swine flu vaccine. For your amusement, I've written down the 10 most obvious ones and published them below. 10 things you're not supposed to know about the swine flu vaccine, at least not by anyone in authority. Number 1. The vaccine production was rushed, and the vaccine has never been tested on humans. Do you like to play guinea pig for the big pharma? If so, line up for your swine flu vaccine this fall. Number 2. Swine flu vaccines contain dangerous adjuvants that cause an inflammatory response in the body. This is why they are suspected of causing autism and other neurological disorders. Number 3. The swine flu vaccine could actually increase your risk of death from swine flu by altering or suppressing your immune system response. There is zero evidence that even seasonal flu shots offer any meaningful protection for people who take the jabs. Vaccines are the snake oil of modern medicine. Number 4. Doctors still don't know why the 1976 swine flu vaccines paralyzed so many people. And that means they really have no clue whether the upcoming vaccine might cause the same devastating side effects. And they're not testing it either. Number 5. Even if the swine flu vaccine kills you, the drug companies aren't responsible. The U.S. government has granted drug companies complete immunity against vaccine product liability. Thanks to that blanket immunity, drug companies have no incentive to make safe vaccines because they only get paid based on quantity, not safety. Zero liability. Number 6. No swine flu vaccine works as well as vitamin D to protect you from influenza. That's an inconvenient fact that the government, the FDA, and Big Pharma hope the people never realize. Number 7. Even if the swine flu vaccine actually works, mathematically speaking, if everyone else around you gets the vaccine, you don't need one, because it can't spread through the population you hang with. So even if you believe in the vaccine, all you need to do is encourage your friends to go get vaccinated. Number 8. Drug companies are making billions of dollars from the production of swine flu vaccines. That money comes out of your pocket, even if you don't get the jab, because it's all paid for by the taxpayers. Number 9. When people start dying in larger numbers from the swine flu, rest assured that many of them will be the very people who got the swine flu vaccine. Doctors will explain this away with their typical big pharma logic. The number saved is far greater than the number lost. Of course, the number saved is entirely fictional, imaginary, and exists only in their own warped heads. Number 10. The swine flu vaccine centers that will crop up all over the world in the coming months aren't completely useless. They will provide an easy way to identify large groups of really stupid people. Too bad there isn't some sort of blue dye that we could tag them with for future reference. The lottery, they say, is a tax on people who can't do math. Similarly, flu vaccines are a tax on people who don't understand health. I've been following this swine flu influenza outbreak, and I'm not liking any of the things that I see. A doctor in France says that the flu vaccine is going to cause 60,000 deaths.